For some people, success is the total number of medals that you win during an Olympics. For others, it is the global recognition you are getting thanks to your accomplishments and achievements both during and between these competitions. And for others, it might be a personal success when you have found that one true love that you would do anything and everything for just so you can be together a little bit closer. No matter how you measure success, I think it's fair to say that Taiwan recently had the most successful and just most fantastic Olympic Games in the history of both Taiwan and the Olympic Games, which is what we're going to talk about in today's video. Hi everyone and welcome back to the 5th episode of this season's 外国人介绍台湾新闻. This so far may look just like any other video, but today's video is very special. It's so special, so you will actually only see this kind of video once every 4 years. And what makes this video even more special is that we are going to talk about the amazing performances that the Taiwanese athletes have had during the 2020 Tokyo Olympics and how these outstanding performances have made the entire world more focused on the Chinese Taipei versus Taiwan Olympic name situation. And as if that was not enough, we are also going to talk about the biggest Taiwan Olympic news that have covered the Swedish news last week, which has to do with a very unique and adorable love relationship. But first, we are of course going to talk about that. I now see that my microphone cable is a little bit loose there. I'm not sure if it's plugged in correctly or if it has fallen out. Like, can you hear me now? Is the cable in? It looks like it was in after all. Just like that gold-winning point by Li Yang and Wang Qilin when they defeated China and got Taiwan's first ever Olympic gold medal in badminton. But the biggest news regarding Taiwan's participation in the Olympic Games actually came from what happened right after this victory over China. Now, needless to say, the rest of the world is of course supporting Taiwan's participation in the game, but they are also cheering for Taiwan as a team, thanks to all the support that Taiwan has given the rest of the world during this COVID-19 pandemic. But the rest of the world is also confused over why they can't find Taiwan in the medal ranking and how Chinese Taipei can not only compete but also win over Chinese China. So what did actually happen right after that badminton game when Taiwan won their first ever Olympic gold in badminton? Well, to fully answer this, we actually just need to make a quick jump back in time to 1979 when the International Olympic Committee and the Taiwan International Committee made a compromise saying that although China, People's Republic of China, had taken over all the Taiwan seats in the United Nations and pretty much any other big international organization, the International Olympic Committee allowed the Taiwanese athletes to continue participating in the games as long as they did not do this under the name Taiwan or Republic of China, since the People's Republic of China, meaning China, already was being represented by China. This agreement officially started in 1981, and ever since, Taiwanese athletes, every time they have participated in international events, have been doing so under the name Chinese Taipei. This means that during every international event, every Olympics, and during every prize ceremony during the Olympics, the Taiwan national flag cannot be raised and the Taiwan national anthem cannot be played. And again, this is absolutely nothing new for the Taiwanese people. This has been in place since 1981, and nothing has actually changed during the last 40 years. Except one thing, which is Taiwan's importance in the world, the number of people who are interested in Taiwan, and the number of people who actually care about Taiwan. I think that might have been 3 things. I don't have the official numbers to back this up, but I am very confident in claiming that there has never been this much coverage regarding Taiwan's participation in the game, Taiwan's success during the game, and this whole Chinese Taipei versus Taiwan Olympic name situation. And I can at least honestly say that with 100% guarantee, at least during my 3-year YouTube career, there have never been an Olympics with more Taiwan coverage than during the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. So fast forward back to last week, and once again that amazing victory by Taiwan, or Chinese Taipei. The victory itself was a history first, but the prize ceremony was actually the first time in the Olympic history where the national flag anthem was played in front of Chinese athletes. Now, please keep in mind here that the music which was playing was the Taiwan's national flag anthem and not Taiwan's national anthem. And the flag itself was the national flag of Chinese Taipei and not the national flag of Taiwan. If you're a foreigner watching this video and you are a little bit confused, then please do not feel bad because you're absolutely not alone. And actually, media and newspapers from all over the world have done their absolute best trying to tell this story and to actually differentiate between the terms Chinese Taipei and Taiwan. And I'm not gonna go as far to say that no one cared about Taiwan before, because I don't think that is true. But what I can say is that during these last 1.5 years, during this COVID-19 pandemic, the rest of the world have actually gotten to know the Taiwan that I have gotten to know during my last 9 years living here in Taiwan. And they've also gotten to experience firsthand the enormous support and generosity of both Taiwan as a country and also from the Taiwanese people. So after the rest of the world hearing about Taiwan's enormous successes and the amazing support for 1.5 years, when they see the name Chinese Taipei right next to that badminton gold medal, of course they will raise some questions. And who knows, maybe with time this will raise enough questions so Taiwan can also raise their national flag. But believe it or not, the number one Taiwan Olympic related news that have covered the Swedish news this week have had nothing to do with the Taiwan national anthem or the Taiwan national flag. It instead had everything to do with the tremendous amount of love a Taiwanese athlete has for his caddy. Even if we look at the 2020 Tokyo Olympics from a non-Taiwanese perspective, I think we can all agree that this year's Olympics was very special, to say the least. We're talking everything from non-visitor friendly beds made of cardboard in the Olympic Village just so the athletes would focus on the games and nothing else, to what some people are calling very, very harsh restrictions, since visitors and even family members are completely banned for participating and cheering for the athletes during the competitions. Now, of course, I can completely understand that this must be very, very sad news for all the athletes competing in the Olympics, but for the Taiwanese golfer C.T. Pan, this was completely devastating news since he absolutely had to have his wife by his side if he was ever going to compete in the Olympics. So, did he decide to go to the Olympics alone, or did he simply decide to stay home since his wife couldn't join him at the games? Well, being the great golfer as he is, he of course has no problem finding the holes on the golf course and also no problem finding a hole in the rule book, as he decided to hire his wife as his caddy, so she not only could go to Tokyo and cheer for him, she could also even walk on the golf course with him throughout the entire competition. Now, some people might call this an unwise decision to sacrifice his professional caddy for the support of his wife. Well, Mr. Pan ended up winning yet another medal for Taiwan and Taiwan's first ever Olympic medal in golf, thanks to his third place in the games. This means that in total, as I am recording this video, Taiwan now has a total of 11 medals, which put them on the 18th place in the world ranking during Tokyo Olympics, which is not too bad for a country who cannot even participate in the game as a country. And if you are comparing this with previous Taiwan achievements as well, then this is actually more than double their previous record. But even with all these 11 medals for Taiwan, and even the fact that Mr. Pan's wife were able to actually fly to Tokyo and be with him in person as he got his bronze medal, I have to be a little bit selfish and say that the real winner last week was actually all my YouTube channel members, since there now is, just like the badminton and golf medals, a first ever dedicated YouTube channel member video on this channel as well. And if that was not enough, if you actually just click on the join button just to get a little bit more information about the membership, you will actually unlock a secret video here on the channel as well, just to read and get a little bit more information about the membership, and then you can decide if you want to join or not. Okay, maybe a new Lukas Engström membership video cannot really compete with a new Olympic gold medal. And I have to also admit that I myself am actually more happy for a Taiwanese gold medal than a new Lukas Engström video. And this is not only coming from me. I think that every single one, regardless if you're Taiwanese, if you're a foreigner living in Taiwan, or if you're a foreigner living outside of Taiwan, I think the entire world is just very, very happy for all the success Taiwan has had during these Olympic Games. Everyone except China. I'm not saying that these two news are related at all, but I personally think that China may have overreacted a little bit over losing that badminton Olympic final, since they now apparently have a new target in mind for their next war agenda. But I, for one, am not worried at all, and I honestly believe that attacking Taichung might be the worst decision you can ever make. And if you don't believe me, then you should go down to the description and check out my latest podcast episode where I am talking with Alan from Life in Taiwan regarding his life in Taichung and his view on Taichung versus Taiwan. And if there is one advice I can give the Chinese government, who might be watching this video if I ever applying for a Chinese visa, that is that you should never attack Taichung as long as Alan from Life in Taiwan is there.
You better not have anything against Taichung, or I'll fight you. I'll fight you in the streets outside.
Next question. The only thing you will get from that is a 10-minute lecture on how amazing life in Taichung actually is, and a lesson regarding that it doesn't matter if you've only lived in Taipei for 9 years. Taipei and Taiwan is just not the same thing. But more about that in the podcast episode, which once again already has been released as a podcast, but will later show up here on the YouTube channel as well, with subtitles and video as well. So if you haven't already, please make sure that you subscribe to this channel and also hit that bell so you get notified as soon as that video with Alan comes out here. That was everything I had to share this time. Please like this video to show your support, and if you do want to support me even more, please click that join button so you can at least see that secret video and get a little bit more information regarding this membership, because this membership is what makes it possible for me to continue making more and even better videos talking about Taiwan and about Taiwanese related news every single week. Thank you all so much for watching. My name is Lukas. Starts with L as in like, ends with S as in subscribe. Please do both, and see you all in the next one.